Yes, guys. Yes, people. Big up to every single one of you. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another live stream and welcome back to another therapy review. 2 days removed from us being knocked out of the FA Cup to the club that we basically taken 7 or 8 different assets from. Shout out to all you, man. Hit the like, sub to Joey's channel, follow Andrew on X, sub to Javon as well. He's going to be on in a little bit as well. And yeah, I hope everybody's feeling a little bit better after the last couple of days. For me, it's just been good to actually have a decent night's rest. I've been doing so much walking and standing and drinking over the last 2 days. It's been good to detach for a little bit, but we got to get ourselves right back into it, assess the mess that we dropped at the Amex Stadium, and maybe talk about how we can try and improve for the next time we go there. But shout out to the chat. Big up to Pequeno, big up to Sean, big up to Known Unknown, big up to Namaya, shout out to Kendurance, shout out to Nearsighted Remembrance, Joshua, Sav, big up to all you man that's in here. Hit the likes and sub on your way in, and let's get into it. Andrew, it's good to have you back on the channel as well. Hope you've had a good weekend past the football.
Yeah, apart from football, enjoyed the Super Bowl last night. Hold that, Jerry, by the way. But yeah, I mean, listen, yeah, Chelsea was a damp squib, you know what I mean? It was like, I'm just more disappointed because I can't even banter Liverpool because I'm more disappointed that we went out and Liverpool gone out and that's the favourites at the cup. Do you know what I mean? So it's like, and it would have been an open door. You know what I mean? Anyone can avoid City away, and literally you could have an easier run to the final. So, but yeah, it's one of those things. I'm just annoyed really with revisionism in our fan base. You know, like Poch and now Mudryk revisionism as well is like really pissing me off. Do you know?
I mean, like, what do you expect, Andrew? This fan base is clownish. You know, what do you expect?
I just can't believe this guy.
Standards, isn't it?
Yeah, they talk about standards and then you bring me Mudryk, bro. It's like, but yeah, Saturday was just a complete. I can't. Usually in a defeat, you might be able to like go, well, that player played worse than the others. They were all shit on Saturday. Even the players that came on.
Yeah, I don't know. Here's the thing: is like I didn't take it that way. To be honest, I took it a totally different way. But yeah, that's a little bit different. I had the worst sports weekend that I possibly could have. So like. Overall, like I don't even know how I'm supposed to be angry at this current moment because like every one of my teams lost this weekend. So like I don't really have like I'm not like angry. It's just more like fuck. Like
smoke it all away, man.
Yeah, you know what, Lewis? It's all right. Last night I don't even know how many joints I smoked. Last night I have no idea how many joints I smoked. Absolutely no idea. It could have been 15 or 20 by the end of the game. But yeah, yesterday really wasn't like, or the Chelsea game specifically, was like the performance was bad, but the result I actually wasn't really that upset about. Like the reason why I wasn't upset about it, not necessarily because of like us being knocked out of the cup or anything, but if that game happens in a Premier League game, it's a draw. So it's like as much as I want to hate on the performance, like because I want to fucking kill everything about the performance. Like the result in the end was just like I can't get like super fucking upset about it. You know what I'm saying? I can't really be like livid about how the result went because in the end, like that was a handball. There was 2 handballs on that play. Like Like, regardless on how I want to look at it, like they kind of got SOL'd on it. Like, and it is what it is. But they have an opportunity, a direct opportunity to recover from it. And to me, like there's a lot to speak on the way that Maresca played that game. But like I'm gonna hold off until I'm gonna let everybody kind of speak on it first. But I just have, because I want to just go on like a quick rant about like what I saw in that game. Like it was not what I expect from Maresca. Let me just put it that way.
I hear that, because like the one thing I clocked was, look, I get it, we ain't got a striker or anything, but we didn't look to have any plan in terms of like how to actually break through them. It just seemed like
See, I disagree with that, Lewis. I disagree with that. That's the part I disagree with. But the plan was the way that we set up with the plan. It really hindered us from being able to accomplish it. All right, so let me just get into a rant. If you're going to play a false nine, okay, I don't care how much of a tactico you think you are, okay? I've watched football my whole life, okay? If you're going to play with a false nine, you can't play with you can't play with one winger that can stretch the pitch. You need to have two wingers that can stretch the pitch. AKA Jadon Sancho in that game was irrelevant because of two reasons. One, he can't stretch the pitch and get deep, so it removed another outlet for us. Okay? So, in essence, you have this Sanchez just going deep to nobody because there's only one player he could really go deep to, which was Neto, because he's the only person who can stretch the pitch. So you have to play two wingers who can stretch the pitch, AKA why I thought it would be Madueke Neto in the wings with Nkuku, because if Nkuku's going to drop into the pockets, you have to have wingers that are going to stretch the pitch and stretch the pitch still. Now, the way that he set up was designed for that. Okay, we saw it in multiple opportunities where Caicedo picked up the ball in space. He had nobody around him. He would turn, and then there was a ball that the center backs would split because Nkuku would drop deep, and then a runner would come through right through down the middle. And we saw it 4 or 5 times. So plan wise, it wasn't necessarily the wrong plan. Like, he had the right plan. Execution wise, from those players was pathetic. Okay, KDH can't chest the ball down. Nkuku, I don't know why you didn't fucking strike that ball. Like, to me, it's still, I don't know why you didn't strike that ball.
It pisses me
Like,
off.
I don't know why you didn't strike that ball. Like, that ball is there for you to strike, and if you strike it and Dunk or whoever the fuck it was that was next to you comes by, it's more than likely going to end up being a penalty. So, like, you strike that ball, it's more than likely a penalty. Okay, even if you don't fucking hit it, don't get it on target. Dunk is flying into you, so I get why you tried to get it over him, because Dunk was, or whoever it was like charging right in. But if you put the ball on target or try to put the ball on target, it's a penalty like that. It instantaneously a penalty. You trying to get the ball over the top of him gives the ref the benefit of the doubt that you weren't trying to get a ball on goal. Okay.
That, and you got to complete your action as well on challenge.
Yep. So you either get the ball on net or Dunk's going to hit you. So one or the other. Defensively, I didn't think that we were that bad, but I don't know what the fuck Trevor Chalobah was doing in that for the goal, the first goal. Like, you see your man go inside of you. Wait, but Lewis, you see your man go inside you, right? If you see your man go inside you, why are you looking at the ball? Like, you're staring at the ball. Like, I don't get it. Like, why are you staring at the ball if there's a guy behind you? That ball went right over his fucking head onto and Sanchez's positioning is terrible because he tries to go out and clear it with a punch, and then he's positioned awful to be able to get to that. The second goal, like, I can't even speak on because it's like it's almost irrelevant because of how many fucking handballs were involved. Like, Lamptey handballs it. Arguably, Mitoma handballs it on the knockdown. Like, I can't even speak on it. I'm just not going to speak on it because everybody stopped playing because they saw the handball. That's why KDH stopped playing. everyone was yelling at KDH, but it's because Lamptey literally smacked the ball with his hand. And the ref was standing right there. Now, my problem with this team is still remains the same from what I told you guys in the summer, Lewis. When it's easy to defend us, okay? I can tell you how to defend us. You man mark everybody, and you let Sanchez have the ball. Let Sanchez have the ball. Okay? His instinct is to go long. So when he goes long, he normally misses. So we get the ball back. AKA, like against City, he lost the ball 19 times. I don't know what the stats were from yesterday, but he lost the ball 19 times against City.
I didn't see the stats, but like all the long passes basically led to Brighton getting the ball. The short passes were a bit more effective because, like,
but listen, right? Listen to how it works, right? All you have to do is defend us on ball side. So you leave you'll leave the one man wide, and you defend us all ball side. So the ball goes to the right. Everybody man marks on the right hand side. Force that switch to Cucurella, which it's not a relevant pass for us because you still have the fullback on the other side man marking a winger. Then, if he goes long, we win the ball because there is no striker anyways. It's not like he can hit it to a striker, which was my biggest issue about this team from the beginning. It's not like you can hit it up to a striker. It's no outlet up top. There's no outlet.
There's not even really a lot of height up there either.
Yep. But what happened when Gil came in?
Just a little bit
through the lines. Ball fished through the lines. One-time pass to somebody else, right?
Yeah.
The other issue is that our wingers just keep on going deep to stretch the pitch. Thank you.
I got Warrior.
I don't understand why you're making 19 long ball passes in a game, Robert Sanchez. I don't understand it.
There's too much confidence.
I don't understand why you're making 19 long ball passes. But he doesn't have the confidence to play through the lines where Jorgensen actually does. That's the difference between the two. Jorgensen won't go long unless he has to because he wants to play through the lines. Sanchez's instinct is to play long. If I'm fucked, I'm playing long. I don't know if I'm going I don't know where I'm supposed to go. I'm playing long. The three men that I'm looking at directly are marked playing long because he doesn't have any confidence with his feet, like to be able to control the ball, and he doesn't have any confidence being able to play through the lines. It actually doesn't make sense why you play him.
Or even why we keep allowing him to do it when he's not effective at it either.
Lewis, I wonder in this next game, yeah, we'll have Reese, yeah, we'll have Nico, but I think with Jorgensen starting, you'll see a game of way more control. Because once again, Jorgensen does not mind playing through the lines. And if we can play through the lines against a team that presses, that just creates opportunities for us. Quick opportunities. Opportunities that we could play on the break, which we're strongest at normally. Now, Cole Palmer, I don't know what the fuck's wrong with you, bro. I don't know what the fuck's wrong with you. I don't know why you have to play every single ball on the ground when there's multiple opportunities where you can lift the ball and get into space for your player to go and get, especially on counters. Okay? Like, I don't know what's wrong with you, bro. I don't know what's wrong with you. Like you have been pathetic in the last few games. And they're giving you the opportunity to create. You're getting into space. You're capable of being able to turn on people. And then all of a sudden you make a pass that's like, that's Cole Palmer. So nobody really, there's not really like any good from this game other than Caicedo just being Caicedo. Like, and I thought Tolson played all right. Other than that, like, I don't have much more I can say. I've said everything I could really say.
No, I completely agree with a lot of what you said too. Like, Cole Palmer has to hold the smoke as well as a lot of the other players. I'm glad you mentioned Tosin had a decent performance because I don't think he should be like cooped in with Chalobah, who was very shaky defensively at times, including the goal as well. It was just an unbelievably frustrating performance from a lot of individuals. And like the second half felt like
And
more the
I
same.
thought,
At
I
least
thought
let them
actually
take back
Neto
in the
had a
first
pretty good
half.
game, but he can't play the way that he's playing with Nkunku up top. Like
Neto, it was
that's
more like for an outlet, he was better than Sancho. There was times where he got the better of Lamptey, but it felt because there wasn't an option for him to cross to in the middle, it just felt very one-dimensional. Like all he could do was try and create an opening for himself and try and cross and hope it finds somebody. And it's like we know it's not gonna work. Just try something else.
no. But what my
trying
problem
anything
is why the cross height? Why is all of our crosses in the air? Like in the air, like we only pull the ball back on the ground once in that game. Get to the byline and pull the ball back on the ground. I know there's not anybody that's going to be there most of the time, but try. Like that's what you should be trying to do.
How slow we were playing.
Because look at what happened when Enzo came in, right? Enzo came in and then he got to the byline from like a 1-2 play between him and I think it was Tyreek Jordan, Jadon Sancho, one of the two. And then he gets it to the ground. He gets it pretty much into a space. He drags it back into a space where someone should be crashing that spot. And the ball just went all the way through to the top of the box. It's like those are the things that strikers normally are in. That's the spot that you got hurt in, by the way. Like on a drag back, trying to grab the ball from a pass back for someone getting to the byline. Because he's knows to be in that spot if someone gets to the byline. Because nobody else is. And what else are you going to do if a person gets to a byline? You got to get into a spot where you're going to be able to shoot it. Nobody ever gets into that spot. Remember, I don't know if you guys played FIFA last year, but last year's FIFA, everybody only did that specific thing. You go to the corner, go to the line, you pass it inside, and it's a goal. You want to know why people do that? Because that's the easiest way to score in football.
Yep.
Like, it's the easiest way to score in football. Like, drag your man to the byline. It's going to drag players to you. And then there's supposed to be a guy right on the box waiting for it, right in the box waiting for it for you. But there's never anybody there because we don't play with the striker. We don't have midfielders, by the way, either, that are like goal-scoring midfielders, like outside of Palmer. And Palmer doesn't get into those areas. So it's like
we saw Palmer and Nkunku both jumping into the midfield to try and help progress the ball throughout long periods of that game. And then with Nkunku,
want to know why? Want to know why? Because there's no outlet, Lewis. We don't have an outlet. I've been consistent about this for over a year. We don't have an outlet, bro. Our outlet when Nico is here, even when Nico's here, our outlet is with Nico's here is get the ball to his feet so he can turn. That was our outlet. You can man mark that. You can man mark that. So when you man mark that, what other outlet do we have?
The last couple games.
Yep. You can man mark that inside run. You have your midfield. You have a midfielder. You can have a midfield cover, and then you're supposed to have a runner beyond him. But we don't have a runner playing. We don't ever have a runner beyond him when he drops back deep. That's the other issue. Is our 10 picks up the ball, gets into space, and doesn't look to run beyond our players, the other players. He wants to pick up the ball and create. Where Nico wants to pick up the ball and create. Where Sancho wants to pick up the ball and create. Where Neto wants to pick up the ball and create. Do you see the issue here?
Yes. Too many men just trying to be the creator and nobody's just there in the middle. And then you get stuck in the same horseshoe of death formation that you end up seeing, and then the ball just pinballs left and right. You see with the average pass map. I think I've got it here on one of the
Nobody's
tabs.
in the fucking box.
Look.
Everybody, it's literally all around the box.
The horseshoe of death, guys.
I mean, it's not anybody's fault, though, is the problem, other than the sporting directors for not getting us a actual 9. Because Nico would be where you see put that back up for real quick, Lewis.
One sec.
You see where Nkunku is?
Yeah.
Nico ain't much further up. If you pull up other games, Nico ain't much further up.
Yeah, the only difference is just Jackson makes the better decisions when he's on the ball. That's and he's stronger. That's just it. That's what I was saying. In spite of Jackson's bad form, you can tell how much we missed him in this sort of game.
Mm-hmm. Well, this game also, the one thing with Jackson is he's a willing runner in behind. So it stretches, once again, it stretches the pitch, and especially against a Brighton who want to play tight up against you, tight up a high line and press you. You have the opportunity to get that ball in behind you to somebody. But we don't have anybody who can do that. Neto is good for that. But who do you have passing him the ball? Sanchez? Majority of the time?
Or maybe off the right.
You see how all of this just comes down to player personnel? Regardless on how you want to play it, right? Like even if and player personnel also includes Maresca's lineup. Like once again, like I said, like you could play a 9, right? But you have to have 2 wingers that can stretch the pitch. Jadon Sancho ain't stretching the pitch for anybody.
Yeah, and even if I look at individuals, like for me, it's just we were all moving the ball way too slowly. So if we even talk about creating opportunities for us to make lower crosses or to make cutbacks, we're not going to do that when we allow Brighton so much opportunities to just settle and to just keep their shape.
But even then, though, Lewis, when we had that situation, right? It was, and I'm sorry to like take up everybody's time. I'm talking the entire time. I apologize, but like when you have that situation, even like there's still nobody crashing those areas, right? Like even if when people get to that byline, there's nobody crashing that area. The reason why I'm so adamant about you is because I watched him for 45 minutes get into the right spot over and over and over again. Only reason we scored the goal before, Gu's occupying 2 center backs. You want to know where Gu was when he got injured? In the cut in the drag back spot. That's where he was, the drag back spot. Get to the byline, drag the ball back. He tries to trap it with his outside foot. He does a split. He's in the right spot. I can't say the same about Nico. I can't say the same about him.
We could tell the difference in his movement just off 60 minutes.
Not even, bro. He got 40 minutes. 40 minutes he got. Lewis, 40 minutes the kid got. 40 minutes. He came on the 50th minute in the last game. 40 minutes. We saw everything. I saw everything that I needed to see from a striker to get himself involved in the game, get others involved in the game, and be in the right spots. He's 19 years old. He knows what he's doing already. Okay? That's all I can say. He knows what he's doing. I don't need to say Nico's in the wrong spot when the cross comes in. I don't need to say that. He's physical. He presses like a maniac. He's cool with me. But we only got 50 minutes of him.
Life without a striker realized on Saturday.
Nope. No, it's irony, bro. That's what it is. It's irony. That's what this is. This is all irony. We all said, all of us that sat here and said we wanted a striker, we needed a striker for over a year. Right? Both our strikers get injured in the same game. Both of them get injured in the same fucking game. Even our 19-year-old who didn't get to play a single game, Premier League game, the first opportunity he gets injured. Both of them in the same game. That's irony, bro. That's karma hitting you in the face. It's karma hitting you, these sporting directors, right in the nose. That's what that is.
Yep. And like, as much as it's shit for all of us, I guess it just puts them even further and further in the spotlight. Them and Nick Barley. Which is just shit, but I mean, it's deserved. There's nothing more. It's nothing more than that. It's just deserved. Andrew, how did you feel following that 90 minutes? Because we never actually got to speak about the performance. So how are you feeling?
I just wondered where that energy and that urgency went from Monday. That was all. Do you know what I mean? Especially in the second half against West Ham. Just the urgency, the pace of the game. Like you said, we seemed to slow things down. I just never understood that. And then we went away from hooking the ball over the top in the first half, and we didn't do it in the second half. Do you know what I mean? We just didn't do it, and just a lack of anything really. I mean, I don't mind. I never like losing, but you've got to give me. I've got to take something away from a loss and go, man, if only like we were so unlucky at this, or the defense had a real good game, or the goalkeeper had a worldy save at the last minute, or something like that, or we were just like the ref screwed us over, or something like that. But I can't take anything. I can't take any positives away from that game because of us. Do you know what I mean? And I sit there and I go, I didn't think Brighton even played that well. That's the most frustrating thing. So I said Brighton played extremely well. They just come off a 7-0 loss as well. Do you know what I mean? Just come off a 7-0 loss to Forest. Not like to City or Liverpool. A 7-0 loss to Forest. Do you know what I mean? They didn't go down to 10
at home since November.
Exactly. They haven't won at home since November. And I just sit and I go, and then, like you said, I look at the bench and I go, yeah, Enzo came on, he did. Madueke came on, he did. And then I went, maybe Tyreek George will come on, and he did. But that was it. There was no like real game changers on the bench, and it's like he's got to find a way, because I think Palmer and Nkunku almost got, well, they can't play together. Well, they hardly play together anyway. So they haven't built up a relationship yet. You know, he has to make a decision. He has to tell one of them has to sacrifice their game for the team. Do you know what I mean?
It's not even that, Andrew. It's not even that, Andrew.
Let me just, and I even said on the weekend, I don't know where this came from. It popped up. I would even put like, if Nkunku and Palmer can't play, I'd put Madueke up front with Palmer, because they got a relationship, and I would just have Madueke to shoot, or put Santa in the middle. If you're going to stretch the pitch, put Santa in the middle. He played false 9 for United a couple of times. I think he's got to try something different, or does he have to try another formation or something like that until, to cover the weaknesses and the lack of options in other areas. But yeah, sadly it was just complete, like, the lack of guts, the lack of try, the lack of all those buzzwords that English football fans like. Oh, he didn't even try.
Lack of creativity.
You know what I mean? Lack of creativity, especially.
I don't think that though, because like we had opportunities to counter really well, and it lands to our best player's foot a lot of the times, and he just decides, I'm going to pass the ball on the ground instead of getting the ball over the top so our player can run onto it.
I just think
the ball gets stopped. It happened 4 to 5 times in that last game.
But
he's our counter demon, bro. With him, we normally count. When he's on point, we counter like demons, because he could spray that ball out to areas while people are on the run, and when we get the ball in great spaces, when the team is compressed into our half, and we get the ball should be going to Palmer so he can get us on the counter.
I just think though,
in that game he just didn't, dude.
When Van Bruggen made that mistake in the first half, we should have just been peppering him with shots, just testing him out as well. Any shot that got near, stop looking for the pass, have a shot, see if it deflects or anything like that. We should have been peppering him, because that was an own goal. You know what I mean? We should have been doing that, but we didn't. There was no urgency again, and the second half was just a non-event. It was just a non-event from us. We didn't do anything really.
We shooting wide whenever we got the chance.
Shooting wide, or like there was a little bit of a thing for about 2 or 3 minutes. And then
imagine it got so bad when Enzo shot wide. I was just thinking, thank God someone took a fucking
that was it. Shot wide, and there was in the end the ball went out of field, but they went to know there was a shot that Van Bruggen saved it over. But there's nothing really. And like I said, Palmer gave his best Bruno Fernandes impression on Saturday.
Here's the thing: this whole Poch revisionism, though, that I'm seeing is unbelievable.
Oh, yeah.
Like just because Palmer's had his breakout season under Poch, they're making it out to be, this shit's unbelievable. Performed a miracle. Like, grow up, bro. Where
The
were
man
we?
didn't get
Where were
sick
you?
until
No,
May, and it's a
on some real
miracle.
shit. Where were you guys earlier in the season? Where was this talk earlier in the season? Can I ask?
Yeah, yeah.
Can someone ask me that? Can someone
No.
answer me that?
They had to wait till mid-December. No, they had to wait till the 20. No, even just early start
February.
2025. Yeah, to have this type of
How
opinion.
come man be pining for
January,
Tuchel or
February.
some shit? We're pining for Poch. This
Yeah,
is the thing. You want to talk about the standards going down. This is one of the biggest indictments of it. You man are here doing prop for the worst Chelsea manager we've had in
It's
recent
nothing to do
memory.
with the managers when the players are like when your best player is not up, is playing and he's not up for it. Why is that on the manager? Why can't anybody just blame Cole Palmer's performance?
yeah. So he had a terrible performance.
Why can't we just do that? Like, can we just say Cole Palmer hasn't been good? So that's the manager's fault that he hasn't been good. That's what we're saying. That's what. So he wasn't. So the other 14 goals, the other 14 goals that he had, and everything, all that didn't make anything. That doesn't mean anything. The 10 plus assists he already have, that doesn't mean nothing either. All that stuff just doesn't mean nothing.
I always felt he had the numbers this season. The performances haven't been like last season, but I just think that was just he was just a shining light in a shit Poch system. Do you know what I mean? He just stood out. Do you know what I mean? Very well stood out.
There was no tactics, so everyone just gave him the ball. Sorry,
he now is given a limelight. He has to take more advantage of this. You know what I mean? Basically, they've given him control of this team. It's his team. Do you know what I mean? He needs to step up a bit more because it's not acceptable now for this. Okay, it's not acceptable for him to have these type of performances. His passing on Saturday was lazy. He just didn't look in. Like I said earlier, like I said about a few minutes ago, that was his best Bruno Fernandes impression I've seen of him. Gives the ball away and then the arms out a few minutes later, like Bruno does.
I do wonder though. I do wonder if Maresca is not just talking about Nani in his quotes earlier in the season.
Yeah,
remember those quotes he said? No. When players score a goal and then they think that they've accomplished the game. Maybe he wasn't just speaking on
our habit of getting a goal and just never building on it, because that's been such a.
It also shows how way Palmer's worked too. He gets a goal and then all of a sudden the rest of the game is kind of like.
It's like the last 2 months. Whenever Palmer bags a goal of the first goal, we don't win.
Yeah, and he's gone.
It's nearly every game now.
Yeah, and then he's gone. Disappears into the wind.
I also do think part of it does come into like the whole we play Palmer on the right pocket first half and then move him to the left pocket second half. We have seen that happen.
That's okay. We could blame Maresca for things, but to say that he's better than Poch is just pathetic.
Of course,
pathetic. It's pathetic. I mean, that's what you guys are pathetic. Honestly, y'all are pathetic, bro. To say he's just better than Poch for what? Poch went 38 games. Poch went 33 games.
33,
fucking up. 32 and a half games fucking up.
Well, he settled on a formation and a style of play.
With our biggest injury crisis, by the way.
Even then, our performances
that he caused. Because most of those injuries were in training, by the way.
I beg people to rewatch the Forest away game last season and the Brighton away game last season and tell me those are good performances. Great results, but the performances stunk. All right? Absolutely stunk. Bournemouth, yeah. But what I'm saying is...
here's the thing, Andrew. There was a super chat yesterday that I'm still going to go back to because it says a lot. They asked me, like, if we had the season in reverse, how would people be thinking? If we had the season in reverse and our good run of form was now, no one's saying nothing because the here and now is what matters. That's why Poch can still live off that 5-game run.
I'm still convinced right now. I'm still convinced right now. I'm totally convinced right now. If we had 2 more wins out of the current run that we just had, while we'd be and we still went at the FA Cup, we'd be disappointed going to the FA Cup. I don't think we'd be hearing half of what.
Andrew, let me give it to you real quick. Let me give you the 2 wins real quick. All right. Crystal Palace, Everton, Jordan Pickford fucking takes out Neto in the box. Penalty for us. That's a goal. That's a goal, Cole Palmer, right? Nearly every single time.
Mm-hmm.
Crystal Palace we got a sorry from the FA before a penalty in the box on Neto again.
Yeah.
But we tied that game 1-1.
And one shot on target. In one of our
and we tied that game 1-1. There's the two wins that you would have had. And what does those 2 wins do? We're 1 point behind Arsenal in that sense. With this run. Even though this run has been terrible, with 2 more wins, the run's still terrible.
Yeah,
and even for a Bournemouth into that too.
Yeah. Well, yeah, and that, but also I'm
the penalty they gave to Delap.
Right. I'm still thinking
that they ended up saying sorry for. They said sorry for these things. The FA said sorry for these things. They said sorry. They fucked up. So I'm not pulling things out of the air. The FA said sorry for him. It's not like I'm pulling them out of the air.
But I'm still of this mindset. I'm still of this mindset with the fan base, and I put myself in it, that no one expected Maresca to do as well as he has done with this team for the first half of the season. And because we got to 2 points behind Chelsea, most of this fan base, probably including some of us, thought that we could go on and do more or do a bit more. But actually, what's happening is this team is plateauing to what I thought it would do for this season anyway. And being a mixture of a top 4 race and be inconsistent.
It's what we all thought we would do.
There's no Chelsea fan in the world that will convince me, no matter what the reports they came out last time about wanting top 4, there's no Chelsea fan who will convince me that when we installed Maresca, you had 100% thought we would get top 4 with this manager in charge. There's no one in the world that will do it, especially after the transfer window, where you didn't get a goalkeeper rated and another striker to back him up. And especially now after the January transfer window. Does he deserve criticism? Yes. And we all have with his substitutions and his constant picking of Sanchez. Okay? That has cost him points, and we've seen it's costing points in the recent run we've had. It's costing points. Okay? So he deserves criticism for that. But this revisionistic, especially over Poch, we're right. A revisionist history over Poch. Are you shitting me, bro?
Here's the other thing with Sanchez, though, right, Andrew? Here's the other thing with Sanchez. We're starting to realize.
Also, Andrew, just before you go, Joey, I just want to address this. This is perfect timing. 6'4" lower disguise and better than Poch. Simple, because it's in your opinion. But yeah,
okay,
6'4"
cool.
lower
That's fine.
isn't better than Poch. Okay,
that's fine. Cool.
Thank you.
But yeah, like the problem with this is that like did the same thing with Sanchez. So, like, what are we talking about? He did the same thing with Sanchez, and he had us in 10th. We're in 4th. He did the same thing with Sanchez. You want to blame him for Sanchez? Punch did the same thing.
Oh, no, but he dropped him. No, he got injured.
And he had us in 10th, 12th. Maresca has us in 4th. So you want to complain about Sanchez? Sure. Where were you last year complaining about Sanchez? Because he was doing the same fucking thing and had us in 12th.
Yeah.
And also, everyone loved. I'm glad you brought this up too, because everyone loves to say, "Oh, we only got 2nd in December because everybody else dropped off." But we don't want to use that same logic for the second half of last season. The quality in the Prem second half of last season was downright.
I gotta head out of here, though, brother.
Big up, Joey, man. It's been great to have you on. Everyone sub to Wab Sports. Link is in the title. Bless up, man. But everyone wants to run that logic, right? For this season. Last season, it was Arsenal and Man City and nobody else after February. Everybody else was in some form of a downturn. But we don't want to run that narrative. We played like 5 teams with 4 of them on the beach. A Forest team that was already staying up. They just needed to score a goal.
Yeah. And I just think, Robert, listen.
Big up.
Big up, Javon, man. Great to have you on as well, bro. Link to Javon's channels in the title, too.
Does he deserve criticism, Maresca? Absolutely does criticism. I've criticized the best managers that we've ever had, so I'm more at criticizing Maresca. Does he deserve that? Absolutely. He now has another task where he has to try and find something. Because I don't know if Jackson's going to be fit for Friday. I don't know if Gooey's out for a bit longer. But he has to try and make chicken salad out of chicken shit, with what he's been given. Do you know what I mean? Or he has to just try and get enough points at this juncture of the season. The Conference League should be a layup, and we should win. I don't care if people can put Fiorentina in there 17 billion times. I don't care. We should be able to win that competition. And then we judge it in May and see what the outcome is. Now, if he hasn't achieved those goals of a Champions League place and the Conference League, then yeah, if the consensus is he's got to go and he's got to go, it's no skin off my nose. Do you know what I mean? I don't really care about players or managers until they do something for my club. And it doesn't mean scoring a bunch of goals that don't lead to anywhere or getting to finals that don't lead anywhere. If you get into a final is not an achievement, because if you lose the final, you might as well just have lost in the third round or something. Do you know what I mean? It doesn't matter. It's just a day out at Wembley.
It's another indictment of the standards. Oh, now we're flexing, making a semi-final. Yeah. Oh, great.
Yeah. We went to Wembley again.
Saying this, by the way.
We're going to Wembley. That's great. Yeah.
Not me, man.
The lineup was good enough. It should have been good enough to beat them. I agree. It should have been good enough to beat them, but we didn't. And he has to hold smoke a bit on that Maresca as well. Why are we playing so slow? Do you know what I mean? I've seen it for a couple of games now. We didn't need to play that slow. Why did we stop going the ball over the top? Do you know what I mean? He's got to now put his foot down a bit more and start telling, he's got to figure it out, and that's his job. That's what
do you guys think the questions are posed? What am I saying? And I'm not added today. Forgive me. But do you think the players are starting to question the manager? I only ask these questions because his man management hasn't been necessarily the best, and I don't just mean calling out the players into the public, but his utilization of the squad, in that regard. But I ask this question because these players look so lethargic on Saturday, so not up for it, no enthusiasm. Yeah. Even when the subs came on to the pitch, you expect them to inject a bit of life or a bit of energy in the team. Nothing, absolutely nothing. And some of the body language and some of the plays that I saw, there was one play where Nkunku dropped deep to pick up the ball, and he left a whole gap, a little gap where the striker is supposed to be. All it took was one of the wingers to recognize that gap and run into the space, ball over the top, and we're in behind. No one's feeding off each other. No one's talking to each other. I am wondering if Maresca has lost it, because look at it this way. When it comes down to the whole Nkunku point, I get it. I fully agree. I'm not going to go against it. But at the same point, some of the other players have to take responsibility to some extent. Because if Nkunku is the type of, he's the only choice we have due to injury, right? Yep. And if he's going to drop deep, and if he's going to want to link up, then you as Cole Palmer say, hey, Nkunku, when you drop deep, I'm going to rotate and take up that false nine position and just to get us up the pitch. There was a point where Nkunku dropped deep, and I'm seeing Cole Palmer just as deep with him. I'm like, no, brother, you got to be in this space that Nkunku leaves, because you're a shooter and you played fast nine a couple of times for us last season. You have to be able to rotate as well. You understand? So
like we say in-game management from the manager. Sometimes the players need that as well. If you see one that's constantly dropping deep, be the one to stay further forward. Give him the outlet.
Yeah.
And
it's a broader
point. After this, I'll let you go. And it's a broader point for me, because another thing as well, Sancho and Neto was having a rough time against Tariq Lamptey, right? Tariq Lamptey is known for his pace and he's known for his physicality somewhat. Why couldn't Sancho said, "Yo, Neto, switch real quick"?
I was just thinking that
the pace up against the left back and versus the skill up against the right back.
The right back was on the yellow.
It would have been a mismatch. It would have been a mismatch.
The right back was on the yellow as well. The Brighton right back from the first half, he was on the yellow. As well.
And I'm not necessarily talking about this for the game aspect. I'm talking about it as a mental aspect, to say, yo, this is a cup game. It's a one-off game. If Maresca wants to be mad at me after the fact, screw it. But I'm more focused on getting the result. You get where I'm coming from? So for me, these players have to take a lot of accountability, and I'm giving up on a lot of them. I'm tired of this, bro. We've given them time. We've seen it under multiple managers. I am done, bro. I'm starting to check out, in the sense that
I'm not expecting anything. I'm tired of being the positive guy. I'm good. I'm just gonna call it for what it is. It's not good enough. The mentality is draining. Not saying it's in the bin, but it's going down. You understand? And someone pointed out.
Post-match quote said a perfect example of it. Sorry, Andrew.
Yeah, and someone pointed it out to me. Last point, Andrew. I promise.
Yeah.
Someone pointed it out to me that I may be expecting too much from the manager, because some of the things that I'm asking for is typically comes with a experienced manager, someone that can quickly adapt to a completely different formation, someone that's not going to be rigid as to what's got him here. So yeah, maybe it's that too.
I just think though, it's like I've just noticed this now. It was like, and it might be a little thing, and I didn't think he was at fault for either goal, but just still stick with Jorgensen in goal. Do you know what I mean? Build up the continuity and relationship between the centre backs and the goalkeeper. You didn't need to. I don't know. I don't think it would have made any difference, but just build up that continuity. Do you know? Build up that relationship. Do you know what I mean? Just build it up. Why do you have to switch the goalie out? I know you've got the cup things and stuff like that, but I just think little things like that, you know, and it still bugs me about Maresca. I just wish he wouldn't come out, even publicly or privately, and just like talked about when we were second about people asking about a title race. Because modern day players, if you give them an inch or any out, they're going to take it. Do you know what I mean? When they start losing or dropping points, like when he said, "Oh yeah, we're not in a title race," he just come out and said, "Well, you know, we're gonna see how we go." Do you know what I mean? Anything like that, we're gonna take it literally one game at a time. We want to be here for as long as possible. And these players, I want these players to get the experience of being here as long as possible. Something like that, because you give them an out then. Oh yeah, well the manager said that we weren't in a title race. Even some of the fans coming out. It's like, no, we should be looking forward, you know, ahead of schedule, whatever the term you want to say. But you're right. Now he's got to try and find, you know, what happened between Monday and Saturday. Okay, we lost Jackson and Giri. Okay, fine. That's the thing. But that doesn't stop you then. That doesn't contribute to the pace you play. Do you know what I mean? You might do a different style, but the pace for me is just so slow. So like walking lethargic football. Do you know what I mean? We used to be good at counter-attack. When you got Neto, like I thought the first bit of first half when they unleashed Neto a couple of times, that was great. But we didn't do that. Mm-hmm. We should like Javon said, my thing would be not for a whole half, but keep switching the wingers every like 15, 20 minutes or something like that. Let's try it out. You know, especially when their right back went onto a yellow card. I would have switched Neto over there right away.
Immediately, bro.
Yeah, immediately. I would have gone, I just want you to run at this guy. He's on a yellow.
Hold on. Something just occurred to me, Winter. And I'm not, there's multiple facets with Chelsea right now that we can critique and that we can have a discussion about. I'm just focused on the Brighton game and some of the things that I saw that lead to bigger issues, right? Over these past couple of games that we've seen the poor running, you know what screams out to me when you just said that? We haven't been good at identifying the probe on the pitch, the issue for the other team on the pitch, and exploiting it.
Yeah.
We as fans see where the issue is. Exactly.
First half of the season.
Exactly. We as fans see where the issue is for the other team on the pitch, and we can see, okay, he's on a yellow card, put someone in pace over there because he's never going to be able to keep up, right? And even against City, put someone over there that's going to constantly attack the kid, you know, because he's going to get his confidence shot and whatever what for it. Then he could go back multiple games.
Doing up there, mate. There.
Exactly. Yeah. You can go back to all the games where we've identified the issue as fans, but the manager hasn't, and the team has not pounced on it. Even if they has it, the team still did not pounce on those weaknesses. And that's a big issue going forward. You cannot see a team flopping around and not be able to exploit those issues consistently throughout the 90 minutes.
Yeah, agreed.
Shit. Yep. Completely agree as well. Like we've seen it happen before. We've seen games where we shore ourselves up a bit more defensively, or we change the area of the pitch that we're trying to attack. We've seen games like Spurs where we change the back line to try and deal with individuals like Son, for example. We're not seeing it. And like in this game as well, it's like when the main plan didn't work, you just kept doing it. Just kept doing it, or just made like for like changes. And it's like, I don't know where the bravery has gone. Because your game management works when you do it quickly. We looked at West Ham, for example. Early effective subs, we completely changed the game around. Maybe to a point it's because we probably just don't have the striker options, do we? That also plays a fucking part. Sporting directors, straight back to the same situation as the fucking start. Same one. But I'm glad we have Brighton again as well, because this is now an opportunity for you to come and get something out of this squad. Like, we've seen how good you are at setting up the team to win. You now have a whole game of data to analyze. Use that to bring out a better performance. We had the Brighton manager come out and demand a good performance from Brighton after the 7-0, and they went out and they got a victory against us. Now it's up to us to do the same thing, because we can all agree that Brighton team wasn't good. They didn't bop us off the park or anything. We bopped ourselves off the park just by doing nothing with our possession.
Bro,
absolutely nothing.
If I'm being honest, for this squad, that FA Cup game was more important than the league game. Believe it or not. We needed to get into a final, and we needed to actually try and bring home a trophy for this young squad. And a trophy of importance, because the Conference League doesn't count. I think we can all agree on that. The Conference League doesn't count, right?
There's an I dare you get knocked out.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
We're
you get knocked out
for 10 minutes, and then we hope to never talk about the Conference League again.
Exactly. So this coming game against Brighton is going to be more important than what it should be, if that makes sense. Because we're nowhere near competing for the league. We have multiple games left into the season to get into top 4. But it's a knockout competition, and you come with that? Come on, bro.
But here's my thing, like, I've seen a lot over the last few days about which one's more important. Ultimately, it's just deal with the game in front of you. The cup game's in front of that. That's the most important thing as things stand, because it's the one right in front of you. And then the same energy has to go for the next game. So that's just it. Like, it should never have been a think about one or the other, because then you're just going to devalue one. You're going to devalue getting back into the Champions League. You're going to devalue progressing in the FA Cup. And that's what Maresca did. Eventually, he just devalued the FA Cup and just said, it's okay, we can focus on the other two. Nah.
So let me ask you a question.
After you fumbled the Carabao Cup as well. You can't run that shit.
So at the start of the season, I said top 4 is a must. And when I say top 4, I mean comfortably, convincingly finish top 4. Not finish top 4 by default. How would you guys feel about getting into Champions League, but going into the Champions League to get embarrassed? Would you rather qualify for Champions League and be embarrassed potentially because with the squad is so horrible, or qualify Europa League but win that?
But here's the thing.
It's a bittersweet. I was posed this question, so I'm asking you guys plus the chat, because I want to see get the general consensus.
What makes us like? It shouldn't just be we go into the Champions League and get embarrassed, because the biggest thing for me about getting in the Champions League is that our wage structure goes up by 30%, and hopefully that improves the transfers that we could bring in as well. And that's also another window to actually like right the wrongs of the last two. So,
I agree.
I'm not really thinking
we don't have a track record of signing players to improve the squad. So that's why the question was posed to me. And
I genuinely
couldn't answer.
The only question mark, though, is that wage structure, which it would again have that increase if we get in there. So I can't really say that.
That was my response. I couldn't answer the question. I couldn't answer the question because
it's an assumption that we go in there and we just get battered.
I think though the Champions League's changed now. It's not like the old thing, in terms of, it's 8 games, it's 8 single games now. You're not going back to back against anyone, so you can't, so we've seen it even this season. Look how the big teams big teams are struggling, and surprise teams like Brest have gone into. You know what I mean? It's like I think we'd be okay in there. But what it would do was, if we do make Champions League, it would really flush out, what this type. Now you've made the ultimate thing about wanting to be in the Champions League. What you're going to do to make sure we stay in the Champions League for seasons to come, which I don't have any fundamental trust in whatsoever about the recruitment. That would be the ultimate thing. So now you've made it. What's the excuse now of not signing? Blah, blah, blah. Do you know what I mean? It's not the wages now because everyone's wages gone up. So you can say you can afford to pay who you want now because you're paying Champions League wages now. Yep. So what's the excuse now? What is it now?
Yeah, and ultimately that's why I think qualifying for Champions League is so important. Not necessarily how we'll perform, but it puts a bigger spotlight on the owners and the directors.
Takes away every single excuse. Takes away every single excuse now. Even the most ardent backers of the project. I don't think there's any backers of the sport directors, any backers of the owners, build backers of the owners and the sporting project itself. Takes away every single excuse now that you've had.
What now? Are you going to sign quality now? Because you cannot keep on with the same strategy for the main team, for the first team to compete in a competition like this. Yeah, and normally when we're in this competition, we don't participate. We compete. Knockouts may be hard on us as fans, but we can see the team competed. And that's the difference. So that's why I think we need to make top four, not because of the financial aspect, not because of, bringing the club back to a certain standard, but mostly because we will find out for clear as day what's next with this ownership. And I'm already ownership out. If I'm being honest, I'm done with them. I'm done. I'm already sporting directors out.
Yeah, I'm with you. Sporting directors out. Get Igbali out, and if you can get Bowley in with a Saudi consortium.
And if we do make the top four and a trophy, it's not a justification of the sporting directors' jobs. It's in spite of them.
Yep,
that's what it is. It's in spite that Maresca has done this, and the squad have done this. They've done it in spite of your lack of support and everything like that. And also, I don't get this thing about the owners want to make money. Yes, they want to make money, but they also don't want to be attached to something that's not successful. And you make bigger money by your team being successful, whether it's winning thing or in different competitions and stuff like that. So you attribute that to sponsorship deals and everything like that. People want to sponsor clubs, teams that are doing well, and in the biggest competitions for all eyes to be on them. Okay? So this whole thing about, they want to rinse us. You don't spend £4.5 billion on a club just to rinse it and strip it and all that nonsense that people in the chat are saying.
And you know what I realized to add to your point, Winter. Why would they want to be associated to? Why would you want to be associated to a club that was at a certain level, and then because of you, it went downhill?
Yeah, exactly. And maybe the thing is actually now probably is like there needs to be something that this summer go, okay, but the whole consortium go, we tried it now under Igbali taking most of the control of it. Maybe we do let and see what Todd does, especially for a Champions League. If we get in Champions League, because I think he will. While he'll do part of this project, he won't go full into it. Do you know what I mean? And probably the sporting, whatever happens, whoever takes the sporting directors need to go. And I don't even know why we need two, by the way, sporting directors. It should be one sporting director. We don't need two sporting directors. Doesn't make any sense. But look at I just implore people, and he's not the majority owner, but he's part of the ownership there. But just look at what Todd Bowley and others do for the LA Dodgers for the baseball. Okay, they won the title and they immediately signed the best players after that. So just allow him to do that. I think we have to take away. We have to. The first summer, it looked bad, but we have to remember the circumstances of that first summer. Come out of the takeover, Marina left, and he wanted to keep Marina on. Czech left, wanted to keep them on. They were late in the transfer market, and they needed to get the names in, which they did at the time. But we'll wait and see. I don't know. I don't hold up much hope. So
And just to this idiot in the chat, would you rather Bowley or Clearlake? Because one of them have to be the owners till 2032, and they can't leave. And also, before anyone says, but someone else can come in and buy them out, there's a loophole. Find me the loophole or miss me with your think pieces.
And also, let me just say this: the Dodgers haven't won once in 10 years, you moron. Do your research, you idiot. Do you know what I mean? Do your research, for Christ's sake.
Honestly,
Man just want to scream, get them all out when they all literally cannot leave.
Yeah.
So you
this
pick
whole thing
one.
about getting clear like out it's so like waste
Don't be
of
an
energy.
idiot and answer the question. Pick one or who's taking over the club, mate. It's got to be either Clear Lake or Bowley. So pick a side. Pick a side.
And I would just go, the ironic thing about this, and I know it's different in the way finances work. Look how they run. Look how they back the women's team compared to the women's team.
who's primarily in charge of the women's team? Isn't it Bowley?
I don't know.
know.
I don't know.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. Maybe. I don't.
Honestly, I don't want either one of them here.
Answer the question before you get blocked. Who are you picking for the ownership? Because I actually want this question answered. All these men who want to do fucking Clear Lake and Bowley out never want to answer which one they'd rather have, because you have to have one of them.
By the way,
So please answer the question. Which one?
I'll answer the question because I want both of them out. I would prefer Bowley because his ideology, notice keyword, his ideology was on the right track. Improve the first team, and then you bring in your youth and you improve the development team, or the youth team, or the backup team.
Yeah.
If I had to choose,
said to me he needs a sporting director, at least who's willing to put money down. You are an idiot. You are beyond dumb. You are stupid. You have no critical thinking. Everything goes in one ear and straight out of the other. You're a dumb.
Lewis, can you smell that guy? Can you smell that? I think I smell a minerals muncher. I think I smell that guy. He's an extreme muncher.
Listen,
I don't listen. Well, why don't you want to say Clear Lake out? They can't leave unless Bowley comes in with another consortium. Let that happen. I'll back it. I'll back it immediately.
Does he do more in the women's team? Okay, you're right, Javon. I think Sam Joey thinks that Bowley does more in the women's team or helps that.
Okay. So you know what that means.
He ain't
definitely Bowley. If I had to choose, give it
I'm just crying in the chat. Yeah.
Imagine this, right? Imagine this. And she's a goddess at this club. Emma Hayes, right? Absolute goddess at this club, right?
Yes.
Absolute goddess. But imagine what we've done. We literally took a 2 times Champions League winner and the manager from Leon, brought her in. And I've said this to you, we signed one of the best English players from Barcelona. We signed the best American defender, or best defender in the world. We didn't have to. We just did it.
Yeah, because we already had a title winning team, bro.
This is a team that are undefeated so far this season. They're already in a final already. The goalkeepers get 9 of 12. I know it's the women's game and stuff like that, but we're the leaders, especially in England, of this women's game. And the way it's run is even more of elite than it was before. Even in that, the standards of the women's team have never dropped. They've just got higher and higher.
We need the concept.
Everyone's going up Emma Hayes. What have you done? They've ruined the women's team, Emma Hayes. They didn't. They just bought people in, and and that maybe if Bowley
they said they were ripping apart the women's team too when Hayes left.
If Bowley is on that, then yes to the men's team. Yes to the men's team. If Bowley's on that, yes.
Yeah, because the concept and the ideology, that's the right ideology for us.
Yes.
And we need that now to get back to the next level, because we cannot. If this club was supposed to be sold, we cannot go through another season where
I knew it. I knew he was one of those.
Yep. There you are. I swear, there was no mineral merchants in my chat 2 months ago. I wonder what changed. I keep saying certain man's king was doing 1 stream a week when Chelsea were unbeaten in 15 games, but here we are. One loss to Fulham, and suddenly man don't want to do Rumble no more.
Yeah, he was going to Rumble. That's what it is. Anyway.
Yeah. Suddenly man wanted to make a return. I thought man did the Ric Flair retirement. Here we are. Here we are.
One more match.
It's all coming to light. That's why they come back to the light. Guess what? Chelsea's in a bad state, and I ain't gone hiding.
But let's not waste any more time. But back to the most important thing. If it is Bowley is involved, like I said, if Bowley's involved in that, yes, to the men's team. It needs to be shown. If he's on that, if he's on that or any part of that, I'm not saying he's probably not 100% on it, but if he's part of that, then yes, please, because Eghbali, listen, you could even if this project you kept on, you could still do it so much better than it has been done.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what I mean? You could buy. There's still young players out there. People get experience confused with age. That's not. It shouldn't be that. You can get people. You get people that are still 4 or 5 seasons in deep that are only 22, 23. Like everyone goes, we need to buy an elite defender. There's no real elite defenders on it. But I was begging for Mark Gahey to come in January. Do you know what I mean? Because he's experienced enough. He's 24. Do you know what I mean? You need to. You can do it better. And like I said, you don't need 2 sporting. Why do we have 2 sporting directors? Why do you
that you still got every stream you always go back to that point,
good.
bro? I feel you, bro. I feel you. Why? Just why?
2, why? And then do you know what? They're better at selling anyway. They want to sell. They want to sell them. You know what I mean? But they shouldn't get any credit for if Esteval clicks. They shouldn't get any credit for Esteval. It's the South American scouts. Do you know what I mean? For Esteval and Santos. You know, when it comes to bless Santos for his family extended as well. Blessings on that. So, you know, it's just it's one of those. It's frustrating because I thought January. Do you know what, Javon? You know, all these deals that we're linked to, they're layups as well. Do you know that, right? Like the players, the experienced players that we're linked to, like
layups.
January was layup. We could have got in Gurley, we could have got in Douglas Luiz on loan midfield because we were talking to Juve for Vega. You know what I mean? We were talking to them.
We could have gotten Kvaratskhelia.
Osman's there. They just signed Morata on loan for an obligation to buy.
Oh, yeah, so they don't even need us, bro.
They don't even need a striker. We could have got him, and we were going to spend 60 million on Ganacho, and they only want 65 million for Osman. Make that make sense. It doesn't make any sense. You've already got. Honestly, it's so weird. You want to get to the Champions League, but you're not willing to spend the right way to get to the Champions League. People mostly spend to get to the Champions League, and when they get to the Champions League, they hardly spend.
You know what I mean? Arsenal and United, that was their problem.
Exactly. It was there. It was laid up for them. Laid out for us to do it. Gurley right away.
I didn't even think of his name, but Santiago Jimenez was there for a transfer. I'm surprised you didn't look at it.
Simple, bro. But here's the thing. The scouting directors are not up to par for what the job is calling for. Because let's say they give the sporting directors the general rule of thumb, right? Within that rule of thumb, you can find gems out of that rule of thumb. Another example was Omar Marmoush. This man was on pennies at Freiburg. Why are City the first one in for him?
Right.
Make it make sense. I was saying we could have literally be the club known to sign the best young talents in Europe.
Yeah.
So when people are having their breakout season like Marmoush and so on and so forth, our names would be the first to call as being linked to that player. You get what I'm saying? Yeah. Instead, we went the opposite road, trying to sign players before they even have a breakout season.
Javon, everyone likes the Bournemouth centre backs. Why weren't we linked to them if they're 19 or something like that? Why didn't we,
bro?
Why didn't we get linked to them? If we're so good, then how come we're buying all these like young players? Never heard of them. Never linked to them in the summer.
No, we're linked to people now. Even though like our whole thing, we meant to find them before they blow up. But...
Hold on, people. When I give a name here, I'm not saying they should be coming to our club. I'm simply giving an example. Someone of the ilk of the season that Marmoush was having, where he's scoring goals, he's totally typically one of the next best young talent in Europe. We were never linked to him. That's all I'm saying. Yeah, that's all I'm saying.
Never. And we didn't even go in for Kvaratskhelia. Didn't even go in for him. Right there, laid up, ready to. He would have. I think he would have. But because we were never going to offer the wages, which is mad, absolutely mad. He's the prototype player of what this project is about. Right there, he's the prototype player. 22, 23, ready to go at the cheapest he's ever been. By the way, the cheapest he's ever been and probably ever will be if he goes on to do well. Yeah, he will not be this price until he's again if he does well until he's like 31. You know what I mean, or something like that. He is there ready to go. Or if he goes to Barcelona, why don't we go in for Barcola? Barcola, another prototype player. Oh, but where's the? Oh, there was no opportunity. Absolute horseshit. This was an extended transfer window as well. We needed those players even before the injuries. We needed these players anyway. We were short in midfield. Bring one back or sign Douglas Luiz, one or the other. Our defence was a bit rocky. We were still like, we got the injuries to Badiashile and Fofana before the transfer window happened. But you bring Trev back. Why not sign Gerhi and just give them Trev on another season-long loan for free? Why not just do that? It was laid up. I gave up. You know me, Lewis. I gave up on the goalkeeper being replaced. I gave up in January. I gave up. It's never going to happen.
No, I hear that.
But the striker, all those three. Imagine how we would be feeling as a fan base right now if we just signed Gerhi, Douglas Luiz, and Osman. Can you imagine the enthusiasm we'd have right now? Imagine that, and they hit the ground running. The whole narrative changes. The whole narrative changes. The whole opinions change. Oh, we've got Osman. Oh, Osman's not doing well in the Turkish league. Piss off. Oh, Osman misses a lot of chances. If he has 6 chances and scores 2, I'm fine with that. I'm absolutely fine with that. There's no available
striker in the market.
Erling Haaland, the greatest, the best number 9 in the world. I think his conversion rate is about 30% or something. There's been no conversion rate anywhere that's ever been higher than that. Strikers miss chances, guys, or else people will be
always up there with the top highest chances missed.
Yes,
this is football. Striker misses chances.
I still go back to the summer 21 when we linked to Tchouaméni and we all got fed. Oh well, we thought he could do another season abroad. Okay, well sign him and then loan him out. Do you know what I mean? It's always been the same. Oh, we need another season. No, if you think they're good, sign them. And then loan him out if you think he needs another season. Do you know what I mean? It's just absolute. Honestly, that's why I said Maresca does. While you can criticize Maresca, he still deserves a lot of credit for actually making these guys have the balls to come out of an interview about November time about how well they thought they'd done this season, putting the squad together, giving themselves a pat on the back. Remember that? They came out of an interview, a pat on the back. So Maresca deserves a lot of credit and the players for actually shadowing them and their appalling job that they've done. Honestly,
bro, like it's like every single time we are in a decent run of form, it's like they need a reminder. Yeah, this was us.
Yes.
And also for the chat, like brother, don't bring me Kai Havertz unless you're happy with him at Arsenal. Please go away. Shout out to Cenac saying the general public is stupid, fellas. Recency bias only matters now and context doesn't exist anymore. That's why terrible takes exist on X and on socials. Facts. That's why you've seen the revisionism for Mudryk and Pochettino running rings over the last 2 days.
Man, Low it, man.
Oh my!
That's how we need Mudryk back. That's gonna make a difference, isn't it? You know what I need? I need more shots going wide.
Honestly, these Mudryk things, this Mudryk, I crash it on Noni because I think he can get better, or we can get better than him. But at least he offers me goals. Mudryk doesn't offer me nothing. I swear people live off that cross he gave to Nkunku against Forest, and maybe a couple of decent performances in the Conference League, by the way, where he started off the season in the Conference League being subbed just after half-time against Savić away for Tariq George. But they want to run. Oh, we need someone who can run at them. I've already got that with Madueke and Neto. Why do I need another person who can run at them? He doesn't offer anything. He's taken something that's illegal and he's got worse. He's supposed to, with performance enhanced, he's supposed to get better. But this, honestly, this whole revisionism of Poch, of Mudryk, of Maresca himself, these people, I expected more. Bullshit, did you expect more from Maresca at the start of the season? He wasn't even in any of our lists for managers.
Everyone had us down for 6th or 7th.
Yeah, bullshit, man. Even myself. Biggest question mark was the manager, but honestly, Noni has scored. Whatever you think about it, Noni has scored goals this season. But what I'm saying is, Mudryk doesn't even give me goals. You know what I mean? Doesn't even give me like shots. Waste, man.
Listen, this is not a knock on Mudryk, but because when he was playing for us, he wasn't the biggest impact, or he didn't have the most incredible impact, and he was actually fighting for a starting place here. We know then when we're actually struggling, shouldn't be looking to our guy that wasn't help us when we're doing well to come and help us when we're struggling. That's not how it works. So
that's all. Guy's some cameos in the league. Like, he was a good passer, nothing more. Like, he's a decent.
That's the mindset, isn't it? Absent players, whether through injury or something else, always become better than what they actually were at the time. Like Trev, I like Trev as a squad player, but the way this fan base blew him up. Like, sorry, let me rephrase that. Blew up
probably the right phrase.
Yeah, but actually blew up how he was. Like, oh, he's our best centre back. No, he's a good squad. He's a good squad addition. So, I mean, he had a good game against Wolves, and then we saw him crash and burn against City, like the rest of them. But it's just the levels, and I love the word standards. Everyone wants to protest now about. I always say I swear I will never give up a Champions League, but that Champions League in 21 just it papered over the biggest chasm in this club.
Because we had a good coach. Because we simply had a good coach.
Remember that summer? All we need is a striker. No, we needed more than that. We needed more midfielders. We needed midfielders, backup wing backs. You know,
how many years we said that? We need a striker. We need a striker. We need a striker. We need a striker.
Yeah,
we did that. We go all the way to Maresca because we still need a striker. Why'd you stop there?
Yeah, I'm trying to find the Maresca.
I've needed a striker since since Costa. The only one who came close, the only one who did partially well or more than that is Giroud. It's the only one that's done partially well since then. But he just had no pace and he was old. In the end.
And he only did partially well because of that Champions League run. Outside of that, didn't do shit.
Yeah, exactly. But we've been needing a striker, and we brought in a fat Higuain, Machata, who's basically just a money laundering player right now. Do you know what I mean? With just the amount of transfers he's had. Well, João Felix twice. He's not a striker, and that's another thing about this overabundance of support for João Felix. My God, man! Do you know what I mean? It's just ridiculous.
You've seen the latest Felix quotes, by the way.
Oh, good Lord. Oh, I'm really enjoying my time there. You've been there 4 days.
To be honest, about the new home and all that.
To be honest, I'd be saying the same shit. I'd be so shameless.
Oh, man.
Fuck me, man.
Can I just ask? I don't think it's real, right? But would you take Leao if he was offered you? I don't think that's true.
I don't really know. I'm not too sure about him with low blocks and all that, but he is a good winger. He's a good winger, but it's like I feel like from what I've seen from him, I feel like he needs a lot of space.
Yeah,
I'm thinking about his defensive work rate. The hell is wrong with me today? Yeah,
he doesn't track back at all.
The rhetoric around him is that he's lazy and it doesn't work. It doesn't have the work rate defensively. He would be a direct winger, though. I hear it. He would be direct. Yeah, but it's going to be the same thing as Madueke, bro. It's going to be the same thing as Neto. If your work rate is not there, the manager and the fan base is going to
give me better decision making than like Noni. I'll be so real.
No, definitely. I'm not talking about offensively. I'm talking about defensively because we're at a stage at our club now when we're talking about wingers. We have to. It's like it's defense first. Offensively, I'll take Leo all day. I'll take Leo all day offensively because he has better decision making. But defensively, the way how this coach wants to play and the way how he speaks about his team and the defensive work rate, he would either have to drastically improve or makes no sense. He is way better. I agree.
Yeah, offensively, I hear it. And Takai, he was only talking about defensively. That threw me off initially as well. But I get the defensive argument for both of them. But yeah, like, look, if it's a player for player type thing, okay. I don't think that's the case anyway. These men were asking for 150 mil for him a year or so ago. I don't know why they now do a direct money for money deal with João Felix. But if it's there, opportunity and all that garbage. Do we have a centre back we could take? Maybe not Tomori.
I'll take the goalie. Shit. I'll take that goalie.
Mignon. Yeah. Injury prone as a motherfucker, but a clear upgrade. Clear fucking
How are you injury prone as a goalie?
That's why I always back away from that guy now. If you're injury prone as a goalie, there's something wrong with you. You know what I mean? And they're not even impact injuries. They're like off the ball injuries.
The fuck is he doing off the ball?
You know what I mean? Like off the ball. You see me like, how did what just happened? He's out. I'd love to actually, Lewis, could you bring up his injury record thing for Transfermarkt? I want to see how many games he's actually missed. Magnon.
Bro.
Yeah.
You get injured off the ball. Don't you just have to be attentive and stand there and move around?
I think maybe when he's stretching, he pulls his hamstring or something like that.
Off with your shit ad.
But you're right though. Even if it's not off the ball or something like that, just his injury record alone is like, and he might not miss like a big chunk of games, but he's like injured like a few times during the season.
That is quite a bit since 2022. 5 problems, knee bruise, muscle fatigue, a finger injury.
Muscle fatigue.
I don't know. Maybe like stretch for a 1v1 or something. I ain't got a clue. Maybe saved something with his foot while he was stretching.
The shoulder injury, I hear it.
Half injury. He went straight from one injury to the other with that one.
Damn.
According to Italian outlet Calcio Mercato, AC Milan are set to offer Leao for Felix.
Yeah, because we want a big chunk of change for him, but they're not able to afford that. So.
Yeah, they're broke. Serie A and all that.
Yeah, they can't spend big.
Listen, if he comes to Chelsea, I'm not gonna be fussed because we've been suffering through Neto and Madueke. So it's either gonna get worse or better. I'm over it all now. At this point, I don't care.
He fits our wage structure as well. He's on about 110 to 130k a week.
At least offensively, Leon Palmer would give us something. You know, he's somewhat of a shooter too. So
I'll just stick him up front, man.
You know what? Wouldn't even be against it. Probably be a better finisher in front of goal than what we've got right now.
Palmer false 9 and just have Leao on the left and someone else on the right and just let them bomb on. That's what I do.
I don't, bro. Bro, if the wingers are not Rodrigo and them people, I really don't care anymore.
Yeah, that's it. That's the thing. Yeah.
Morgan Rogers, that's someone we could have done a swap with for Felix from Villa.
No, let's not. This always bugs me. Let's not go to Villa and they need PSR injuries, issues, and sign Morgan Rogers or Duran, who would have only cost 40 million at the time because he hadn't signed a 6-year deal. Let's bring back Lloyd fucking Kellyman or whatever his name is. You know what I mean? Let's bring him back for 19 million. 19 million. I mean, I know we were doing favours and stuff like that. Get frigging Duran for 40. We're already selling him for Maatsen for 35. So we're only really going to buy him for like 5 million in the end.
All that so we could loan him for a year for like 7 million and try to recoup the rest.
He's got behavioural issues. What? He wants to be the best. I take those behavioural issues.
No, that is straight bullshit. I call bullshit on that briefing. Everyone's realized that these briefings are just a load of garbage. You were looking at Alejandro Garnacho, a man who leaks lineups and likes tweets about that cuss out his own players to deflect from his own performances, and has a brother with a motor mouth on Twitter that's already cussed out our 2 best forwards. And you weren't looking at his behavioral issues. We were going to look at Duran.
And looking back in hindsight, is a son of a because looking back at it now, he would have displaced Jackson so easy, bro. So easy. Would have displaced Jackson.
Or even in the first half of the season, he would have given us another option in certain games like Nottingham Forest, where we were struggling to like break them down in periods, and like there was other opportunities we were getting from crosses. You'd wanted Duran on the end of that.
Yeah. Well, let's go to Leicester in the same issue, but let's sign KDH instead of the goalkeeper that worked for him last season. Do you know what I mean?
Brother, the most pointless signing I've seen this season. What does this man do? What does KDH do? Someone tell me. What does he do well for us? Where does he cover? Bro, I'm not, bro.
That brother just
at Leicester, didn't he play where Palmer plays?
Yep.
I think, he's meant to be a 10, but
I'll tell you what, if he was going to mix it up like he did in the FA, I would have just played the new kid. Beside Caicedo, that's what I would have. I would have just done that. Just play him.
What, Mugu?
Yeah, just play him. He's that type of player. He just would have sat there. With
even Maresca said he ain't ready for it.
Even if he sits there, at least you can allow Caicedo to move up a bit more. He was doing.
We literally just bought him to have him ready to send to Strasbourg in the summer and get him early.
Santos' replacement. It's like, well, you know.
We spent more this window focusing on Strasbourg and getting in that rugby, brother, than actually focusing on the first.
Okay, we got the deals lined up in the summer. It's okay, guys. The deals are all lined up in the summer, as we know.
Another 6 months for us to monitor players.
Yeah, observing opportunities, potential.
Keep track of them and all that garbage.
Yeah.
Speaking of, shout out to Tommy Beat saying sporting directors out at the end of the season, in my opinion. Up the Chelsea. Facts, man. Get them out immediately.
Screw
whether
that,
we
man.
get top 4 or not.
Screw that. Their season's over. The transfer window's done. Get them out now. I don't need them the rest of the season.
That's true. That's
true.
I'm
Get them out now.
Oh, don't need them. They're done. Their job's done. They can't do anything. They can't close the big deals. They can't close big deals anyway.
Unfortunately, though, I don't think they leave unless we don't get top 4. And not even then, they're all acting like it's not a target anyway. So,
oh my god,
who knows? Genuinely, who knows? We might have to go for another window or 2 with these fuckers.
You're going through another window or 2. I'm switching sports, bro. Or some WWE, bro. I got Netflix.
Nice.
Hey, stop the copium for me right
saying
now.
Owners out, man. They literally can't go for like 7 more years. You know what I mean? It's just a waste of time. Waste your energy, guys. Seriously.
Like, just you have to either pick an owner or.
And here's the thing. While I don't want the owners here, I genuinely think some sporting director or directors with competence would have still done the structure better.
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
Get them out first.
You can do it better. You can do it better. You can do this better. You can get better. You can get it can be done. The money, it's not 1.5 billion spent. I don't care about spending it. It's how you spend it. You know what I mean? It's how you spend it. Like Santos was clearly ready to be part of this team or part of this squad in the summer. You shipped him out. Clearly ready.
And signed KDH.
And you signed KDH.
You signed KDH when you had Carney.
Yeah. Yeah.
Bro, it's
exactly.
Yeah,
no, we gotta remember Carney's wages. That's what the problem is.
Well, that was
I'm not talking about moving him on.
That was Todd in the first summer. They made a mistake with his wages in the first summer.
But Lewis, look at this.
That's why the new directors come in and say, "Not my player, not my problem."
Yeah.
But look at it this way too. You still didn't get rid of him until January, so you still didn't need to sign KDH. You see what I'm saying? So, bro, everything they do is just doesn't make sense. Yep.
Ooh,
yep.
We can't bring Ugo Chukwu back. We can't bring Ugo Chukwu back. He needs experience. He doesn't need experience playing for a relegated Southampton team. What's he going to get experience for that? What, learning to lose every week? I don't need experience. Bring him back. He'll be getting minutes in this team the way it's going right now. You know what I mean? Because I tell you what, guys, Caicedo goes down, we're done. Tell us right now. Caicedo goes down, we are done. We're done. You can kiss any Champions League place goodbye if Caicedo's out for a while. Done. You better hope during this international break that Chelsea somehow pull off a deal where they can actually say to Ecuador, don't use, it won't happen by the way, but can you not use Caicedo this international break? But Robert needs a rest.
They have, by the way.
I think it's World Cup qualifiers.
Venezuela and Chile. And Chile will be
Yeah,
a bit of a
World Cup
test,
qualifier
right?
still definitely be going.
Yeah, brother. 2 weeks of just stressing the fuck out. Fuck that.
All I gotta say is we need to win before the international break to ease the tension just a bit.
Yeah, I can't have 2 weeks of this shit. I really can't. No.
In front of us, we have to right the wrong at Brighton.
Yeah,
We have to right
Get
the
a
wrong
win
in
at-
that game.
Get a win at Brighton, get a win at Villa, and suddenly things change.
And then it's Southampton and Leicester
That's what I mean.
after that. So
then
I
suddenly
don't want to say it,
suddenly
but
changes.
winnable games, guys.
Yeah, it suddenly all changes. Then everything changes.
Oh, brother. I don't want to do that. But yeah, here we are. Shout out to Alex saying disagree a lot, but still, but big up. Yeah, big up, man. That's why I didn't have any energy towards you. Plus, you're not Chelsea, so it's fine. From a rival's perspective, I understand. Shame we can't smoke you at Wembley again this season. I can't even answer that one because, like, the amount of L's that we've taken to Liverpool, it just is what it is.
Didn't they
Just
drop
is
out
what it
of the
is.
cup too?
Yeah, I can't even. Which makes
yeah,
me.
to
Yeah,
Plymouth.
they did. They dropped out, lost to Plymouth. But that's what made me even madder. I can't even I can't even banter them that much because the favourites dropped out yesterday. So it's big. You avoid City away probably, and the cup's
And
open.
hope someone else knocks them out.
Spurs are out. Arsenal are out. The cup's open. And
Bro, we could have really won this cup, you know.
Yeah,
and we.
Like,
all
I'm
we
gonna
had to do was beat
be
Brighton.
fuming. I'm gonna be fuming if Brighton somehow get like a championship team or something like that in this next round. I'm gonna be pissed. Even
If
more
who?
so. They get
Oh,
a championship team or something like that.
Yeah, the
Or
draws
if they
in
get
half an
Plymouth-
hour,
if they
innit?
get if they get Plymouth at home or something like that, I'll be super pissed.
Don't. Well, imagine another Hazard man at a match at the Bridge.
Oh man.
You remember Plymouth the last time they came to the Bridge? That's one of the worst games of football I've ever been to in my life.
Mhm.
Lukaku just getting pocketed by
Was that an extra time? Was that did that go into extra
Yep.
time? Oh yeah.
Yep. We had
who
2 goals
scored
from
that?
defenders.
Yeah.
Figure that one out. And also, I'll
Well-
answer it one more time. You either pick Todd Bowley, who isn't the one in control of how we're moving right now, or you pick Igbali, who is in charge of this model that everybody doesn't like. So you pick one or the other. Todd Bowley in one window showed me he's willing to bring in experienced players and he's willing to bring them on big wages and spend big money for them. He needed a sporting director next to him, if anything, just to give him some direction because it was just whatever Tuchel wanted. So I'd rather side with him than Igbali and Clearlake. I'm surprised that people want me to explain why I would be against Clearlake. I thought that's what people have been begging me to talk about over the last couple months because I apparently never speak about Clearlake. I apparently never speak about the owners. But hey,
The criticism of Clearlake is still is not firing these sporting directors. That's the biggest criticism.
And still keeping them through this season and the last 2 windows. So get rid of them. But if it's against them all, you can't get rid of them all. So you have to pick one. Pick the devil you know or the devil you don't know. Guess what? I'm picking the one that I don't know.
Why is a minority owner of it's a consortium? It's a consortium. So if they all agree that he's in charge of doing whatever, then he gets to do that whatever. That's what he gets to do.
And Ivan, it wasn't his fault that we were in that position. You have to remember we had a forced takeover.
Yeah.
And it literally was in time with the summer transfer window, so we didn't even get started on the window. It was just Bowley and Tuchel. There was nobody else.
Plus Marina left, and they wanted her to stay for the transition, and then Czech left as well.
Yep, and they both said it was their own decisions to do so.
Yeah.
So, like, it wasn't his fault that he got the club when he did. Those takeovers usually take a lot longer. They take years. But because the government were forcing it as quickly as it was, that's why this situation happened.
Yeah.
So he needed a director, if anything.
Yeah.
But you get me Bowley with a consortium, and cool. I'll back that.
Yeah. How about that?
And even want to talk about robbing fans. Other fans are putting the tickets on there.
Yeah.
And it's mostly for the guys saying, oh, he's robbing match day fans and everything. It's usually the day trippers that do that because they're the ones that are most willing to spend that sort of money for a weekend or for a trip, as opposed to going weekly to follow the Chelsea. People who go weekly are not going to spend over face value for tickets. It's the day trippers.
And also, I wonder if all these Chelsea fans who actually sell their tickets, well, not these websites, just generally sell these Chelsea tickets for extortionate price. They're obviously selling for cheap prices, right? No extortionate prices to other fans. You know what I mean? Like they bought it for like 60 or 70 and don't sell it for like double that when someone's desperate.
He's the director of the site. That doesn't mean he's the one that posts the tickets. How dense are some of you?
Yeah, he's not literally
He's the director of the site. It's like someone being director of Ticketmaster. He's not the ones posting the tickets. Those are the people who buy them.
You know, and if this country was serious about this type of thing, they would have outlawed it years ago with ticket touts and stuff like that. Do you know what I mean? But they don't. I always remember that there's a Simpsons scene where a guy rocks up. Homer's in a queue waiting to buy just like a couple of tickets. The guy walks up and asks for like 30,000 tickets from the lady, and she just gives him 30,000 tickets and pay later. Do you know what I mean? It's the same sort of thing.
And then the buyer goes and doubles up on it, but on a website. But he's saying because he owns the website, it's him that's selling it.
Yeah.
He's allowing it.
Yeah.
It's
Okay.
the website.
It's not just.
He's not the one selling them.
It's not just Chelsea. It's not just football. I've seen Super Bowl tickets on there. I've seen UFC tickets on there. I've seen concert tickets on there. So, you know, that's just, unfortunately, that's just the way it works. It's just the way the world works.
Nearly every league team's there.
Yeah, exactly. You didn't hear I don't hear anything about any other league thing. Yeah.
Fucking stupid. Oh, whatever. Here's what it is. Right. Big up to every single one of you that's locked in, though. It's been a really good discussion. Shout out to Andrew. Shout out to Javon. Shout out to Joey as well. The link to everyone's channels is down in the title. I'm going to redirect over to Northside. I'm going to be on his channel with Deji in about 10 minutes. So that's going to pop off. So everybody head over there. Like, subscribe. The grind continues. Up the Chelsea.
Peace.